Welcome back to another episode. Today's episode is about top 6 best and worst holidays. So, grab your cup, take a seat, and get your fill of Talks with Ray every day. Today's episode is going to be about the top 6 best holidays and the top 6 worst holidays. In my own opinion, I'll discuss the pro and con of the holidays and rank them from worst to best. So sit back, relax, and let's start the show. Since the holidays are here, I decided to rank 12 popular holidays from worst to best. As a small disclaimer, this is my personal opinion on the holidays. And since if you are listening, we'll go into the darker history on the holidays on a different episode. So, we're going to start with the top 6 worst holidays. At number 12, we have Valentine's Day. Now, the pro of Valentine's Day is a special day for special occasions like wedding proposals or a wedding or an anniversary. On the flip side, the con of Valentine's Day is it's an over exaggerated day to show people that you love them. In my own opinion, I feel like every day is basically Valentine's Day because you need to show people that you love them every day. At number 11, we have Halloween. And yes, I know Halloween is a lot of people's favorite holiday, but just hear me out. Halloween is a fun day to dress up and be anyone or anything you want to be. On the con side, though, you have a lot of overpriced costumes and overpriced candy. You have these $100 costumes that just look awful and cheap. At the same time, you have overpriced candy where you're buying bulks of expensive candy where you can literally just go to a dollar store and buy the same amount for a whole lot cheaper. So Halloween is definitely low on the list of favorite holidays because it's just a fun day, yet it's a overpriced day. At number 10, we have St. Patrick's Day. Now, St. Patrick's Day is used to learn about a new culture. However, we use it to dishonor the true day of St. Patrick's Day. We use it to just wear green, wear sayings like "Kiss the Leprechaun," and drink beer all day, which of course is not the reason why St. Patrick's Day was created. Coming in at number 9 is Easter. Easter as a pro is a lighter version of Halloween, minus the whole hunting for candy and dressing up. Whereas the con of Easter is religiously complex. The reason why it's religiously complex is I've noticed a lot with Christians, we celebrate more on Palm Sunday versus actual Easter. Actual Easter is more of a colonial celebration, and then we kind of celebrate Easter on Palm Sunday versus Easter on Easter. It's very religiously complex and confusing as to the purpose of Easter. Is more colonized than the actual faith of Easter. It's very confusing, and that's why Easter is more on the lower of this list because it's a fun holiday. You know, you still get candy and stuff. It's just religiously complex. Coming in at number 8 is Memorial Day. Now, this is going to be a little controversial. Just hear me out. As a pro for Memorial Day, we do honor our fallen heroes. We appreciate their service and their sacrifice to keep us safe. The con on this day, though, is it doesn't celebrate everyone. It's low key just a prequel to July 4th. Hear me out. We have like 3 days of celebrating the United States freedom. And the reason why I say the United States freedom is once again, this does not celebrate the heroes that fell, not all the heroes that fell, only a certain selection of heroes. And we have two other days after this that once again celebrates the freedom of the United States. So it's a great holiday in the sense of honoring those who have fallen for our freedom. On the same day, it doesn't honor everyone, and it's literally just one of 3 days that we celebrate the exact same thing. Coming in at number 7, since we just talked about Memorial Day, is Independence Day or 4th of July. Now, this is a huge holiday for the United States, so let me just break it down for you. As a pro on the 4th of July is definitely the fireworks and the cookouts. They are both amazing, especially if you're in certain locations in the United States of America. Now, on the con side of this holiday is it does not celebrate everyone's freedom. Of course, during this time period, only select people were, free. So it's kind of a slap in the face during this time period because not everyone was free. So it is a hit and miss holiday. You have pretty fireworks, amazing food from cookouts, but you're only celebrating a certain selection of the United States population and their freedom and not everyone. So that's why it's on the worst holiday list because it is a hit and miss holiday. And that wraps up our top 6 worst holidays. Now, after a small break, we're going to come back to the top 6 best holidays. So go get your refill, come back and relax, and we'll see you in a second. And we're back with number 6 being New Year slash New Year Eve. Now, I know this is a big holiday across the world, so hear me out. A pro for New Year slash New Year's Eve is a chance to enter the new year your own way, whether that's going to church and having watch night service, or maybe going out and partying with your friends, or just staying in with your loved ones and watching the ball drop. However you want to do it, it's definitely a pro for this holiday. Now, the con is it's just really another excuse to party. There's no difference between December 31st and January 1st. It's a completely new day, but we see it as a day to celebrate and party for really no reason. So, unfortunately, that's the big con of New Year's slash New Year's Eve. Coming in at number 5 is once was called Columbus Day, but now Indigenous Peoples Day. Now, a pro for this holiday is final recognition of the natives. Now, we have been fighting for so long that Columbus never discovered America. He actually was in the Caribbeans. So it's finally amazing that the indigenous people of the United States finally have a federal holiday in righting a wrong and no longer celebrating a man that never really discovered America. Unfortunately, the con is it took forever for the recognition. We literally, quote unquote, worship this man that never discovered America. First of all, he was in the Caribbean. Instead of celebrating the people who were here first before any of us, we decide to celebrate a man that never really discovered America. So the pro is final recognition of the natives here, but fortunately it just is way overdue. And coming in at number 4 and possibly one of my favorites is Cinco de Mayo. Now, Cinco de Mayo, definitely a pro, is a appreciation of a different culture because normally, I know especially in America, we normally only focus on our one culture that we are and not really appreciate different cultures. I know as many makers are starting to open their minds to this. So that's why this holiday really gives an appreciation towards the Hispanic and Spanish cultures. Now, a con of this holiday is I know, especially in America, We don't celebrate the true reason behind the day. We sit there and scream, Cinco de Mayo, margaritas, party, let's go. And that's not the purpose of this day. The purpose is it's a military victory over the French forces in Mexico. And so that's the purpose of the day. But I know a lot in America, a lot of people scream Cinco de Mayo, and all they really are talking about is going and getting Mexican food and drinking margaritas. So it's definitely a horrible downside to an amazing victory in Hispanic culture. Coming in at number 3 is Juneteenth. Now, this might be a little biased, but hear me out. A pro for this one is final recognition, meaning after 200 plus years, all slaves were finally free. Because as we know, on July 4th, we still had slaves. And therefore, celebrating as a slave a holiday that you were still not free is a slap in the face. So when June 19th of 1865, when the last known slaves in Texas were told that they're actually free, this was the official freedom for all slaves. Now, the con of this holiday is it did not have to become a federal holiday. Just being recognized as a important day in history was good enough. It did not have to go federal. And coming in at number 2 is the one and only Thanksgiving. Now, as a pro for Thanksgiving, it's feast day number 1. So you have your turkey, your ham, your greens, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, depending on who you are, and yada yada yada. And it's a day to just give thanks for everything that has happened throughout the year and spend time with the people that you love. And I know in my family, Thanksgiving, holidays in general, is a ball of fun and comedy, and you just never know what's going to happen. The unfortunate con to this, it does not tell the true story of Thanksgiving. And I know my sister is listening, and we will go into the darker history on a different episode. So we're going to leave it as simply it does not tell the true story of Thanksgiving, because the true story of Thanksgiving is a lot darker and not the happy go lucky Thanksgiving that we all know and love. So for Thanksgiving, we're going to leave it on the more happy fun side that we all know and love, and leave it as is a festival of fun and thankfulness. And coming in at number 1 for the best holiday, in my opinion, is the one and only Christmas. I absolutely love Christmas, though not in the traditional sense, but we'll get into that. As a pro for Christmas is it's feast day number 2, and for me, I just love the joyful feeling of Christmas. I could care less about presents and decorating and all that. I just love the feeling of Christmas, just the smells of Christmas, the gingerbread men smell, the pie, the feeling of love and joy and happiness. Oh, I love Christmas when it comes to that. Unfortunately, the con of Christmas, and once again, sis, I know you're listening, we'll go into it, is the religious confliction of Christmas. There is a lot of religious conflict when it comes to Christmas, and that's because of the darker meaning of Christmas when it comes to different religions. So that's definitely a big con that we'll go in a later date in later episode. But Christmas is definitely my favorite holiday, and simply because it's the feeling of Christmas. Christmas is just the feeling of love and happiness and just peace around the world. When Christmas comes, you're just at ease, and it can easily become your favorite holiday like it did with mine. And that's the end of this episode, folks. Remember to stay safe and happy holidays. See you next time on Talks with Ray every day. Love ya.